Lately, I've been trying to figure out why I keep hitting the same wall. I'll be motivated, focused, and creating like crazy, and then all of a sudden, I'm just done. And not just tired, but burned out. Like when it actually happens, I can't even understand or comprehend the person who made all that progress or those plans in the weeks prior or how they did it. And the more that I sit with it, I realize that it's not just a scheduling issue. It's not that I'm simply lazy or really even disorganized or that I need another productivity hack. For me, I believe that it's deeper than that. And if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you may feel that way too. That cycle of all or nothing energy, where your highs feel creative and inspiring and your lows feel like you're dragging yourself through quicksand. You might not have a name for it, or maybe you do. And maybe you've started to suspect, like I have for myself, that the way that your brain is wired isn't quite typical. Not broken, not wrong, but just different. And in a world built around conformity and consistency, that difference can feel like a liability. So today, I want to talk about, at least from my perspective, the correlation between neurodivergence and burnout, especially for creatives. And more importantly, I want to talk about what we can actually do about it. Just to be clear, before this conversation goes any further, for me at this point, I consider myself to be self-diagnosed, so I am not in any way speaking from a position of authority. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. But this realization came about based on an overlap of a lot of stories that I've noticed in others and myself and our shared commonalities in our experiences. But honestly, for me, even naming it, even privately, years before this video is coming out, has helped make a lot of things make more sense for me. First, let's zoom out a little bit. Burnout isn't unique to content creators or freelancers or even to neurodivergent people. It's everywhere. But for those of us who experience the world differently, who think in loops or spirals or scattered flashes of insight, burnout tends to hit a little harder, or it can also sneak up on us a little quieter. Because when you are neurodivergent, managing your energy takes work. Managing your focus takes work. Starting and finishing tasks takes work. Masking, regulating, adapting, it's all extra effort. So even if it doesn't look like you've done much today, your brain and sometimes your body may feel like you've just run a marathon. And in creative industries, especially those without structure, things can get tricky very fast because there's no time card. There's no clocking in, no clocking out, just pressure to remain visible, to remain relevant, and even just to remain productive. And when you're not, it feels like you're falling behind, or worse, it feels like you're failing. I think that's why so many people like us are drawn to careers outside of the traditional system. Film, design, YouTube, tech, music, all of the above. Because for some of us, deep down, we know we don't function well inside of rigid corporate structures. But here's the twist that I think a lot of us miss when we dive headfirst right into content creation. Even in those free spaces, a lot of the same pressure can find a way to creep right back in. The deadlines, the expectations, the constant output. And I don't really think it's a coincidence that even a couple of years ago, we saw that large wave of people that were leaving YouTube indefinitely or forever.
I can't keep this up. This is going to be my last video for a little while.
My last theory episode.
Well, I guess I'm done then.
One of the creators, Caleb Pike, who had a video that came out that time, said something very interesting. He said,
"Your input doesn't necessarily equal or equate to equal or higher output. If you put, I don't know, a week into a video, that might do nothing. That video might flop, or you could have raging success."
And when you find out that you may be wired for intensity, but not so much for consistency, that mismatch can eat you alive. One of the most important things that I've learned personally is that if we don't build systems that support the way that we actually work instead of the way that we're supposed to work, burnout becomes all but inevitable. So what do we do, you ask? I'll be honest, I'm still trying to figure that one out myself, but I didn't create this video to wallow or to complain. I'm sharing it because for me, recognizing the pattern was the first step in changing it. And with that in mind, here are a few things that have helped me or people that I've talked to start breaking this cycle. First one is to pace your energy. Don't treat your good days like a productivity sprint. Learn to work in waves and not crashes. Most importantly, learn to rest before you actually hit that wall. Number 2, make your environment work for you. Adjust lighting, sound, layout, even tiny tweaks can help you reduce sensory overload and help you focus longer. For me, that could look something like switching to noise-canceling headphones and editing for 90-minute chunks and then taking breaks in between. Number 3, set boundaries with yourself as much as others. It's okay to say no. It's okay to move a deadline, and it's okay to take space when you need it. Number 4, connect with people who get it. no matter what it is. As far as neurodivergence goes, it can feel isolating, but there's a growing community out there and you just have to find your own corner of it. Same goes for everything else that you may be dealing with. Number 5, redefine self-care. Now for you, if you're like me, this may not mean bubble baths or journaling, though I'm not judging. It can also mean rest or movement, joy, or even just creativity without outcome. It means finding and doing whatever that thing may be that will refill you or recharge you or re-energize you. But if nothing else, remember that you are not alone in this. And more importantly, you're not failing. You're just trying to build a sustainable, creative life in a system that wasn't designed with your wiring in mind. And that can take some real strength. So be kind to yourself and take your time. And if you're anything like me, remember that your best work doesn't come from pushing through exhaustion. It comes when you give yourself the space to breathe. I'll drop a few links in the description to help me understand some of this stuff a little better, but I'd also love to hear from you in the comments too. When did you first realize that you were dealing with burnout, and what helped you start coming back from it? Let's talk about it in the comments. And remember, this isn't about fixing yourself. This is about finally building something that works with your brain and not against it. I will see you all in the next video.